Hey guys, what's up? Jonathan Liu, Project Life Coach, week 17. Alright, so we've had a really long journey. We're actually coming to a close. Got about 3 more weeks left. And I just wanted to do a quick recap of our progress here in Project Life Coach. Okay, so we actually started, like my goals kind of shifted throughout here. In the beginning, I wanted to just have a freedom lifestyle, wanted to make $6,000 a month residually, and really I wanted to be debt free. That was my ultimate goal. So let's fast forward today, 17 weeks later, which is what, that's about 4 months, and you know what, crazy as it sounds, I am actually debt free from at least to the credit card companies. I took out a loan from my parents and paying them back. But it's much more comfortable, and I still have my freedom lifestyle, and my goals have shifted. Instead of going for just that $6,000, that 6K payday, having that every month, I've actually kind of shifted and just want that base salary. And I talked to Chris about this, of $3,000 a month base salary. That's really all I need to take care of my food, my bills, my rents, and another thing that I wanted to add into the mix was doing something meaningful and fulfilling. And I plan to start working with the institutionalized youth. You know, this is people that grew up in group homes or foster homes, kids that don't, you know, they don't know any better. They haven't experienced anything else besides the system. And they tend to end up dealing drugs, joining gangs, ending up in jail or dead. And I really have this calling to help these guys, and this is something that I don't really care about the money at all. I just want to volunteer my time and hope I can help some of these kids. So that's kind of a new path that I've been going on, and that's you know, as far as the money goes, I do have a couple of cool things. One is I've got a job at Taco Bell as a taste panel specialist, where I basically taste and eat foods and articulate my thoughts and how I feel and what I think about the foods. And it's different, it's cool. I do that every week for 4 hours a week, which is really nice, it's different. And I'm also getting my real estate license and doing Eat, Love, Stay. That's still on schedule for next week. I start working with Eat, Love, Stay, helping people rent out their homes for vacation rentals. So I've got things lined up, and it's been a really cool journey. I'm so glad you guys followed us on this, and just want to say we've made some pretty good progress, and I think that's it for this week. One of the things I wanted to say during this time is also I started this Project Gratitude. It's called The Magic, from this lady, Rhonda Burns, who was also a co-author of The Secret, talking about law of attraction. But in this book, it's 28 days of gratitude exercises and practicing gratitude and just being grateful for your life, for your day, for pretty much everything. And that's really shifted. Once I started this gratitude journey, a lot of things shifted for me. That's where I got out of debt, that's where the jobs came in, and just things kind of flowed a lot easier. And now I even deal with my problems a lot, with a lot more patience and a lot more understanding, instead of just freaking out every time, getting mad and upset or whatever. I actually am able to take time to just relax and be grateful. So once again, thank you guys, and hope to see you guys next week.
Hey guys, Chris here. So we are in our final month of 6K payday, and yeah, all the practice has led up to this. In my first month, I did about 4K, and I was super tired. The next 2 months, I actually only did like 1.5 to 1K, so then I went back down. And this last month is where it all counts, and I have about $5,000 worth of projects lined up, and I'm hoping to make another $1,000 from my other business. So I'm pretty confident I'll be able to make 6K payday and meet my goal. However, the other thing is I'm pretty, like last week I was super stressed out, you know, and one thing I do want to keep in mind is that I do want to make 6K payday while living a healthy, relaxed, happy lifestyle. And I think it comes from like gratitude and self-respect and self-love, and you know, not just working but also taking breaks and exercising, you know, so your body is well rested, sleeping early, you know, not wasting too much time fooling around. Make sure to take care of your body. Also doing something for fun sometimes. Those are some things I want to work on, because sometimes I tend to be kind of a workaholic. I go into workaholic mode and I forget about everything else. So I want to make sure I do that in the next 4 weeks. Yeah, and I'm gonna try to have fun with it, and things have been pretty good so far. Okay, thanks. Alright, so I have this idea, and so I watched this video of my friend. His name's John Park, and he's this really successful concept artist.
Okay.
Right? He works in the industry, like a lot of really great clients. He's super famous in the art industry.
Okay.
So I was watching one of his videos, and I've known him since high school. He's always been a really humble guy. And what really makes him stand out, when I was watching this video thing on YouTube, it was about 2 hours. He was really like, every step of the way, he was all like, oh, I owe so much to this teacher, and this experience has taught me a lot, and this experience has taught me a lot. I think before we talked about I think Bridget defined humble as being, okay, like knowing you're great now, but also looking back and knowing where you came from,
right,
and all the people who helped you.
Right.
And I know you are already doing it already, because you're doing the magic and gratitude thing. But I think this week we could, like everyday journal, like, whoa, who do we owe, or like who are we grateful for? Like a person we are grateful for.
Yep.
Every day.
Yep.
And like write like why we are grateful for this person.
Absolutely.
And yeah, because the thing is, I watch a lot of these, you know, art videos, like, and you know, a lot of business people. Like any person who's successful in business, or successful in art, or successful in the industry, they usually have 2 things in common. One, they work pretty hard, or they're pretty smart, and they have a high level of skill. That's very common for someone to say that person works hard and has a high level of skill.
Yeah.
However, something I think that's a little bit more rare, like some people have it, not everyone does, humility.
Right.
Gratitude for those people who helped them. Because a lot of times people are like, oh, I did this all on my own, I worked hard, I was all me, you know, it was all me, you know.
I agree.
You gotta rely on you, baby, you know. You know, but this guy, he was like, oh man, like that teacher was like a father to me, he helped me. Oh, and this students, my friends helped me too, and this person helped me. And I was like, wow, you know, that's like great attitude to have, not just, it was a great attitude.
No, I agree.
You know?
I agree, and I think that's absolutely important. That's actually in one of day 12 of the magic, and it's called Magical People Who Made a Difference in Your Life. And it's exactly what you're saying. It's, you know, the exercise only chose 3 in your life, because we can't do this alone. There's no way. And I used to think, oh, I could do this on my own. I could do it, you know. And we're very like, we're in that DIY stage, right? Like everybody's do it yourself. And it just doesn't, you know, yes, it could work, but it's so much, I don't want to say easier, but it is kind of easier, but it's also, you learn so much more when you ask for help, and you're like, wow, oh, somebody else can do this. You know, why reinvent the wheel when somebody's already done it, and ask them for their guidance? Doesn't mean you have to follow every step that they did, but just learning from them, and and just being grateful. Like my dad is a great father. He's a great husband to my mom, and he's just all in all a really, really good man, and that I'm really grateful he's shown me that route. Now there's other things that I can learn on my own. He's not as social as I am, so that's something that I do on my own, but I'm grateful that he's shown me what it's like to be a real man in that sense, where he doesn't care what anybody says. He does what he wants to do because he chooses to, and he loves my mom, and he, you know, that's his priority, and I respect him for that. And just, I love the idea of people in your life, like even people like waiters or gas attendants, people that are in service. These guys are, in service. Sometimes I see people when they treat, waiters and waitresses, they kind of just like, oh, they expect them, like they're entitled to their service. Like, oh yeah, go do this, go do that. And just kind of very disrespectful towards the waiters as if they're inferior to them. But the truth is, like, I love saying thank you and being grateful, because it's like, you don't have to be here, and you're serving and they're talking to you and they're smiling. And I think that's freaking amazing. And I guess it's because I've been in the service industry, so I know that too. But yeah, let's do that. Every day we'll journal about at least one person, or if you let's say you were at home all day and didn't see anybody, at least think of someone that you're grateful. Yeah, in the past, maybe the last 10 days. I remember I wrote about when I went on the cruise. Everybody on that trip was, oh man, they were so awesome, man. And we didn't tip them, there's no tip. Everything's already included. Yeah, the gratuities are already included, but from the people that are making our beds, to the people serving us food, to the people cooking, to just making the whole experience. They were all smiled, they all worked really hard, and that was like the epitome of freaking service. Like, that's what service meant. They made us feel like, royalty. It was really awesome. So anything else you want to add on to that? Because I think that's a great idea.
I do want to say something I've been working on personally.
Yeah.
Is like finding something I'm resentful towards.
Okay.
And trying to infuse gratitude in that.
Ooh.
Like, actually, I've been pretty resentful towards my university, Carnegie Mellon.
Why?
I always felt like, oh man, I didn't get a job out of the university. The design program was shitty. I didn't learn anything. And I always been kind of like, oh man, 4 years out of such an expensive college, I didn't get anything from it. But recently, when I look back, I'm starting to try to say like, oh, in this design class, even though I didn't learn that, I learned this.
Right.
And maybe the design program wasn't number one, but the university overall, like, recently I started working. I was like, I understand architects, engineers, theater majors, and stuff like that. And I was like, because if I went to a purely art school, I wouldn't have interacted with those people.
Right.
And before, I was like really resentful about my university, and now I'm trying to find ways in that it was a gift.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I think that's great, Chris. And you can also add on just the whole experience, right? Just the whole experience of going out to Pittsburgh and living there. And didn't you say, like, we were talking about this earlier, when you were in Pittsburgh, it's like you transformed.
Yeah.
Like, you changed. You actually changed because you were in a whole different environment. So Carnegie Mellon, going to that school, actually allowed you to have that experience. So it's a good way to be grateful. But I love great idea of what is it that you hate or you dislike or you resent. Where can you find gratitude in that? And once you train your brain or your mind to start looking for that, you just start automatically looking for things like, okay, something bad happens, what's the silver lining, right? Where's the silver lining? What's the positive to this? What can I be grateful for? Cool, man. Love that. So let's add that on to the project too. Anything that we resent, or let's say something bad happens, what can we learn and what can we be grateful for? One just off the top of my head, I'll go with one right now, is I had a real estate deal and I was supposed to make $3,000 on the deal. Now, something happened and the guys reduced the fee for us, and it was kind of like, I was kind of mad at first, and I was like, oh, what? We did all this work for this. But then at the end of it, I was like, you know what? My partner, or the guy that reduced the price, he's actually, his partner was the one that actually saved the deal. Like, we weren't gonna, like, if it weren't for him, we probably would have lost the deal just in general. So I actually ended up making $1,000, and that's how I view it. So I'm grateful to him for saving that deal, and I'm happy with what I got. But in the future, I also learned that I need to have everything in writing and keep everything clear. So that's just one kind of example for me. I think that's it. I mean, we've got another 3 weeks, and we're going to definitely want to finish this strong. So we'll catch you guys next week in week 18.